Hello, and welcome to another episode of Focus on Tomorrow. Focus on Tomorrow is a nonprofit located in Chicago, Illinois. You can find us on the web, at www.focus-on-tomorrow.org, or you can email us at info@focus-on-tomorrow.org. Focus on Tomorrow is an education nonprofit that specializes in a video production curriculum. Today we're going to feature a couple of our students. We're going to start with Chris Lay. Hi, Chris. How you doing?
How you doing, Will? I'm doing fine.
Good. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being on.
Thanks for having me.
Great. So, Chris, I want to talk a little bit about our program and how it's benefited you. So why don't you start by telling us what brought you to Focus on Tomorrow?
What really brought me to Focus on Tomorrow was actually two reasons. The first one was After School Matters, when I signed up for the website, and I saw a Focus on Tomorrow, and I saw the description about it, and I just started getting intrigued into it, and that's when I was like, okay, let me sign up for this. And the second reason was when I signed up for it, my teacher, Mr. Rodriguez, he told me that y'all went to the school, and that y'all actually provide a great program. So that's why I mainly signed up.
So Mr. Rodriguez is your TV production teacher at Curie High School?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. And what brought you into TV production to begin with? Why did you enroll in his class?
Well, the main reason why I got into TV production is because my father, he pretty much works with broadcasting and recording and taking pictures, working on, like, he actually shot some games for Dunbar and, like, sports, weddings, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And what happened was I told him, like, Dad, look, when you get old, someone's got to take over the business. So it's going to be me.
There you go. I love it. I love your aspirations there. But you have to have a passion for creating videos and telling stories, right? I mean, where does that come from?
Actually, my ideas come from my imaginations. Yeah. Like, I'm really a hyperactive child inside a 16-year-old man's body, but people don't really see that inside of me, so I just bring that out in my products, like my videos and my documentaries and commercials, stuff that I do on the side, like little skits here and there.
Great. So you came to our program and we challenged you to create a 2-minute short narrative about any theme that you wanted, and you chose Reckless Records. We're actually going to show it right now. So here is the work that Chris Lay created for Focus on Tomorrow, Reckless Records.
As music goes digital, record stores are disappearing, but there are still a few record shops open, and in order to stay alive, they have to shift into new directions.
In-store performances, we do that from time to time. Those also kind of run the gamut. Well, we also do like meet and greets or signings where if a band's playing, maybe they'll come the day before, like the afternoon before. Just recently we had one of our more notorious ones, which was the Insane Clown Posse. They just did a signing for their new album. Jack White played at our old store. That was kind of like a surprise last minute thing that we did. I don't know, we had Major Lazer. That was cool. I don't know, we've had all sorts of crazy stuff. For Record Store Day this past year, we had the bass player for Metallica, Robert Trujillo. Yeah, Record Store Day. That is now an annual thing. It is a bit of a madhouse, but we kind of embrace that, so once a year when all the hype is surrounding Record Store Day and the releases and just everything about it, it really just gives us an excuse to say, like, all right, like, you want to do this? Let's see, like, how crazy we can get it. It's a good thing because it raises awareness of the fact that stores are still here and, thriving.
But at the end, it's all about the music, and record stores have to make sure to have plenty of it.
I guess, like, our specialty is that we don't really have a specialty. We cover everything. It's like a blanket. The genres that we carry in the store run the gamut. Pop rock, hip hop, soul, jazz, punk, metal, experimental. The new Taylor Swift, we've got that covered. If you want to get some guy that's just like making noise on like 16 tape recorders, then we probably have that too. We've got it all.
So with music shoppers moving online for their content, who still shops at record stores?
We get people that are saying, this is the first record I've ever bought. And we get people that come in and are seasoned record shoppers. That's sort of another appeal about the store. It's kind of like a community place where everybody sort of commingles, you know.
So that's a great piece.
Thank you.
Before we even get into the theme of the video, I noticed something in that video that's pretty cool, and I have never seen another student in one of my programs do before. You showed yourselves walking into the store. You recorded yourselves doing that. What gave you that idea?
The idea was just to show how popular the store was, and to show that people still going to record stores, saying like, looking for vinyls, posters, T-shirts, stuff like that. And I just wanted to make sure that they know it's popular.
And what made you want to do a video on music and record stores?
The main reason why I did it is because I recently went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Because my grandfather got inducted with the Paul Butterfield Blues Band.
Oh, cool.
And
Wow.
that's when I got more open into rock and roll, like more popular music that I haven't experienced. And what happened was, when I was listening to the music, it connects to me, and I love it, and I just don't want to ever give it up. And so what I did was I incorporated some of the music that I listened to into this project without losing any interest into it.
So that's really interesting. Let me just go back here to the Hall of Fame. It sounded like that was a turning point in your life. What was it about that event that changed you?
It was I want to say the day before the actual ceremony. We went to the museum, the Rock and Roll Museum, and what happened was my grandfather, he was sectioned off in the VIP section, and we went in the section. It was a little place. It was called the Wall, and I didn't know what it was, honestly, at the time. So I just took pictures of it, and just there was some words on it, and I took pictures of that too. And I took a picture of it was a squid on there. I took a picture of him, and I just wanted to incorporate. I just want to understand what that was. And when I finally went back to the hotel that night, I looked up what the Wall was, and I found out it was Pink Floyd. I heard the group before, but I didn't really get interested and actually listen to the music. I knew who they were, but I didn't know what their music was and what it's composed of. And that's what mainly got me into rock.
Very cool. So, do you see that as probably a stepping stone in the direction of the videos that you'll be producing in the future?
Oh, definitely, definitely. Mainly if you look at my past videos, I really don't include that much rock music into it.
Mm-hmm.
But this will put me onto a more higher platform that I have now that I have an understanding of what rock is and how it's incorporated into some pieces of music and art, that you can actually open more gateways with that opening.
So, when you came to our program and you started working on this project, you were the only student in our program from Curie High School. So you didn't have any friends in our program. You were thrown into a room with 28 other kids from different schools. What was that experience like?
I could say, first of all, it was challenging, but one thing I love is I love challenges. And when you go against the odds, then you honestly think you're the underdog, and that's one thing I like, that you become the underdog and you can overcome any obstacle just because you're the underdog and you have enough passion for what you do.
But are you really the underdog? I mean, you're coming from a television production program, right? I'm going to put you on the spot now. You're coming from a television production program. Some of our kids have never touched a camera before in their lives.
Yeah.
So to some degree, you have an upper hand.
Yeah.
So is that just sort of something that you do to psych yourself up?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's the main thing I do.
Okay.
Because you always prepare for the worst for anything that happens. Because honestly, when I first came to this, when I came to Focus on Tomorrow, I actually thought that it'll be more people that are advanced at what they do. And honestly, that's what I thought when I first met Manny Velasquez, who you just interviewed a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
But when I first met him, that's when I was like, okay, now I got to bring up my game to a higher level, to raise the bar and up the standards.
That's a great point that you bring up. You know, when we put these programs together, our intention is never to like intimidate anybody because everybody does come in with a different skill set. It's more of like let's learn from one another, and you're right. You do see other kids who have other skill sets, and you try to rise to the occasion and compete with them and in a friendly way, right?
Yeah.
And that's fantastic, man. Now you mentioned some challenges. What was the most challenging thing about working on this project?
It was, I want to say, the audio. Like if you kind of hear the audio, like I don't want to put my project on the spot like that, but if you actually hear the audio, it's kind of like faded. And what happened is I just had to bring it up a little bit more, and then I had to take out another interview because the background music was too loud. So I just decided to just take it out instead of just turning it down.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. No, that, and you know, you should be forgiving. You know, I mean, you take into account that you're a young person, and you know, you're doing what you can with your, I guess, foot in the door in this industry, right?
Yeah.
So no, I think it's always going to be a learning process, and I'm glad that you're at least identifying certain mistakes that you've made, and you know, you learn from them. That's great, man. What are some of the experiences that you'll take with you, you know, from Focus on Tomorrow?
Honestly, I would have to say lengthening my videos, because if you ever look at some of my past videos again, like they're not as short as this one, and it's just shortening it to 2 minutes. That was actually kind of hard to do because there were so many things I wanted to incorporate into it that I couldn't do because it was just too long, and I just want to just take some of it out and just get to the main points that I want to talk about.
That is the challenge, right? I mean, when you
Yeah.
have great interviews, shortening it down. So, you know, we're really excited that we're on this journey with you. You know, I don't know how long we'll be on this journey with you, but, you know, you plan to, I'm sure, go to college and, you know, start a career someday and, of course, leave the Focus on Tomorrow nest. But, you know, talk to me about your future. What do you want to do?
Honestly, I want to probably work in the documentary business, because that's what I mainly do is documentaries, because I like doing documentaries because it's like it tells you what you need to do, and it shows you like biographies and autobiographies and all that, but it's incorporated into a video. And what I want to do is pretty much make documentaries. Like, for example, my grandfather, he's a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, and one thing I did was I made a documentary about him, and I did it for class. And also another thing is that he already has a movie out, a documentary movie out, produced by John Anderson.
Oh, cool.
It's called Sam Lane Bluesland. You should check out.
Very cool. And do you want to go to college and
Oh yes,
study?
I do.
Okay, where
Yes,
are
I
you going?
do.
Or where do you hope to
like-
go?
Honestly, where I hope to go, either go back to my mom's school, go to Jackson State, because I really love Jackson State. It's a HBC school. And one other thing is probably Southern Illinois, so I can stay in the state without, where I can just still leave the city, like one of those two schools, or probably go to a big school, you know, like Columbia, you know, because my dad came from Columbia. He graduated from there.
Okay.
So
Cool. And you're going to be a senior now, right?
yes.
Do you feel like college is right around the corner? Are you feeling the pressure of applying? And
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel too.
Yeah.
Like, just making sure, like, you say exactly what you need to say while it's still incorporating that you want to go to college and you want to be the best thing that ever came out that college and produce so much stuff to give back to the college. And picking out your college is really hard.
Sure.
It honestly is. It's really hard. But you can't give up.
no, right?
You can't give up. You cannot give up.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, you know, I wish you nothing but the best of luck next year. I'm sure you're going to do great. So once you leave college, and you told me you want to make documentaries, where do you see yourself making these documentaries? Are you here in Chicago? Or are you moving to a coast?
I would just say like all over, because like I'm gonna give you an example of one thing that inspired me to actually create documentaries is 30 for 30. I love watching 30 for 30. I could just sit in front of the TV all day watching 30 for 30 constantly. Like the episode with Christian Leitner and the story about Benji, the kid from Simeon who got shot. Like, I like making documentaries, and that's honestly what I want to do.
Fantastic. Chris, if you can tell our audience one thing about your experience here at Focus on Tomorrow, what would that be?
You honestly, you can make great friends here. It's really not a competition, but it's to help benefit others and working on projects together as a team. Teamwork make the team works.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you being on the show today. Talk about our program and yourself. We're going to take a short pause and switch our guests. But for those of you who are tuning in now, I just want to let you know Focus on Tomorrow is an education nonprofit in Chicago, Illinois. Our curriculum is a video production-based curriculum. You can find out more information about us on the web at www.focus-on-tomorrow.org. And joining me now is another one of our after-school students, Sonia Mazayars. No, Maziars. I knew I was going to butcher that.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But so, Sonia, why don't you tell me a little bit about what brought you to Focus on Tomorrow?
Coming to Innovations at the beginning of this year, I met Justice, and Justice and I were kind of like into the same stuff, like photography and whatnot. And he asked me to join this program with him. It's like we're both into photography. We kind of wanted to step out of our like comfort zone, I guess, and work into like motion pictures and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you taught there, so it was like I'm gonna be with people I know, kind of. So it was an okay choice, I guess.
But I didn't know you because you weren't in my class.
Yeah, no.
Right. I didn't know who you were. So
Justice told me you were pretty cool, so I was like,
Justice, props. No, well, I appreciate that you joined the program because you do seem enthusiastic about video production. The project that you worked on revolved around farmers markets, local farmers markets here in Chicago.
yeah.
We'll talk about it in a minute. Let's take a look at our farmers market video.
To visit two farmer markets, the Daily Plaza and the Federal Plaza. A farmer's market is a food market in which local farmers sell products such as fruit and vegetables directly to consumers. Lots of people go there to get fresh foods. The farmer's market takes place during the summer, from May to October. We're going to be interviewing vendors and customers who are going to be at the food markets. Chicago's farmers markets have fresh fruits and veggies, music, plants, flowers, and art. We are trying to find out why people would rather buy food from the farmers market instead of big grocery stores.
So I do go often, and I like it because it gives me local options, and it supplements what you get from a grocery store, which can be from anywhere. So I really like getting to know the farmers and the people who sell the food. And
oh yes, the food is very fresh and delicious, and you definitely can taste it. You can taste the difference.
All of the food here is fresh. I know it's organically grown, and it's very delicious. And the flowers are beautiful.
The quality that goes into raising it. We're not a commercial operation. We're a small family farm, so you get a lot more TLC out in the field. Everything that's here on the table was just picked yesterday, as to where a lot of stuff in the grocery stores picked premature, so it can sit in the store for a week.
Yes, ma'am. I'm using fresh and organic from local farmers, fruits, like filling in cupcake blueberries or strawberries.
Started a garden, but I still come to farmers markets because I can't grow everything myself.
It's all extremely healthy for you. It's grown organically, so there's no pesticides or chemicals used. And it just promotes a healthy lifestyle.
After interviewing the vendors and their customers, we realized that people come down here for the vendors' fresh fruits, vegetables, and even flowers. People in agreement felt that the products at farmers markets are more healthy looking and fresh than the products at big grocery stores.
That's pretty cool. Some of that food was picked the day before you shot. That's pretty neat. What made you choose this topic, farmers markets?
Well, it was really close. We filmed the first one at the Daily Plaza, and that was really close to where we did the program. So we were passing by after the program one day. We were like, hey, farmers markets, that's a cool Chicago thing. I think it was cool to find like fresh foods in a big city. I feel like we lose a lot of touch with that.
Yeah.
Um,
That's true. That's true. That's a good point. And so you went out there, and I should probably say that you have never been in a video production class, right?
Right.
And you were thrown into a group with two students who were younger than you, right?
Yeah.
So what was that dynamic like?
It was interesting learning how to work with other people that are younger than me.
Yeah.
Working on like communication and how we all wanted to put our own ideas into the video.
Mm-hmm.
Communication was a big part of it. It was kind of weird.
I bet that must have been incredibly challenging for
Yeah.
you're 17?
Almost 18.
Almost
yeah.
18. I mean, I think one of your partners was
Not even in high school yet.
Yeah, it's
starting
14.
freshman.
That's tough. That is
Yeah.
tough. That's a cool experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a good experience.
Yeah.
My group partners are pretty great.
Yeah. Now, how did you adapt to the whole editing experience and like all those technical things?
Oh, it was cool, like working behind the camera. I had already had like some experience behind the camera, but never editing on Final Cut. So that was it was frustrating our first video, getting all the lighting and stuff right.
Mhm.
We had to throw out a lot of footage because like it was a good interview, but you can't see the guy. He's blending into the background and stuff. It was frustrating, but it was cool. It was cool.
It's a learning process.
Worth learning, yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. And you mentioned that you like photography. You're into it
Yeah.
just like your friend. So is this something that you see yourself doing in the future?
Yeah, definitely. I do want to take that. Like, I feel like media and technology are something like booming right now. I feel like it's something to really get into and make a career out of. I feel like it'd be useful for
Mhm.
when I grow up and like move out of the house, do something with it.
What is that something? What is your dream? Like what project would you love to be a part
Oh
of?
man, I don't know. Like, maybe getting into like TV production, maybe doing films, maybe just doing some like side photography, having like a small blog, just something cool to do when I grow up. I don't want an office job.
Do you think? I mean, let's take this video into account. Do you think that when you shoot video or take photography, that it's a form of self-expression for you?
Yeah, definitely going out and like I love Chicago. I love telling people like I have family outside of the country and like just getting to do something like this and show them what I see on a daily basis. Like that's pretty cool.
That is, you're right. And what are your plans for after high school? Because you're about to graduate, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna do 2 years of community, just get my gen eds out of the way, and then hopefully move to university, do something like computer technologies and stuff.
Cool. Wow. That's different from video production and photography. Is that sort of like a plan B for you in case photography doesn't?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, like my mom fixes computers, so it's something I kind of grew up with. It's something I really like doing.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's great. We wish you the best of luck with that.
Thank you.
So this program now, you're working on a second video, and we don't have a clip of that because it's still in progress. But it's about the bike culture here in Chicago. Tell us a little bit about what you're finding out.
I didn't know that there were so many bike tour groups in Chicago. Like before this program, before coming to Innovations High School, I didn't really come downtown, so I didn't know too much about it. And coming here, like passing by everything every day, it's like it was something worth looking into. I never realized that so many people in Chicago bike, and I feel like it's a good thing considering like all the pollution and stuff.
Absolutely. And so you're going out and you've conducted some interviews with bike riders, bike shop owners, right?
Yeah.
What is that process like for you? Because since you've never conducted interviews before, do you find it to be intimidating at all?
Yeah, definitely going up and asking people for like time out of their day, like out of their job to come answer some questions for me. I feel like it's nerve-wracking on them because they have to like think about the question and maybe they feel pressured because they're in front of a camera, and I feel pressured because I need to make sure that the audio is good, make sure I ask good questions, make sure I get good answers so I can put it into the video and people understand it. So Yeah, it's a little bit like it makes me a little nervous doing it, but it's after like seeing the product from it, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm really excited to be a part of that with you because you do seem enthusiastic, especially while you're editing. You seem very focused and into what you're doing, and that's like the biggest reward for me as an educator is to see students engaged. So thank you for being a part of our program and coming on board this year.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, again, I want to remind our audience that Focus on Tomorrow is an education nonprofit located in Chicago, Illinois. You can find us on the web at www.focus-on-tomorrow.org. And we encourage all of you to log on there and find out more information about our programs. You can also email us for more information at info@focus-on-tomorrow.org. If you do know a young person like Sonia or like Chris who are into video production, definitely reach out to us and find out how to enroll. Again, my name is Will Barroso. Thank you, Sonia, for being with us.
Thank you.
And we will see you guys next time. Thank you.